You wake up in the Cambrian Period, more than 520 million years ago. No dinosaurs, no forests, no familiar sky, only an ocean stretching to the horizon, and you stand before it as a biological anomaly. Modern instinct whispers that the greatest threat must be ancient monsters yet to be named. But the paradox is this: nothing here needs to attack you. This ocean is already a complete killing mechanism. No fangs, no claws, just breathing. The air you inhale contains significantly less oxygen than modern human physiology requires. The partial pressure of oxygen is insufficient to sustain efficient gas exchange in the lungs. Within minutes, your body begins compensating. Heart rate accelerates, blood vessels constrict, microscopic hypoxia spreads through the brain. You look down at the calm water. But this is not the ocean you know. And Cambrian seawater is rich in dissolved metals, primitive microorganisms, and chemical compounds your immune system has never evolved to recognize. One small cut, one accidental swallow, and the collapse has already begun. In the Cambrian, humans are not weak prey. Humans simply do not belong. And your death may have started before any organism realizes you exist. The Cambrian is not ancient Earth in any familiar sense. It is a planet actively experimenting with life at its most brutal biological scale. Sea levels are dozens of meters higher than today. Continents are fragmented and barren, almost entirely devoid of vegetation. Most life exists in shallow, warm seas, nutrient-rich, but dangerously unstable. Atmospheric oxygen hovers around 10 to 13%, far below the approximately 21% modern humans depend on. This does not cause instant suffocation, but induces chronic hypoxia. High-demand tissues, brain, heart, respiratory muscles, begin losing efficiency within hours. Cambrian seawater chemistry is fundamentally different. Elevated calcium, magnesium, and iron concentrations. Dominance of cyanobacteria, archaea, and early eukaryotes. No coral reefs to filter water, no mature food webs to regulate pathogens. The ocean is biologically open, allowing mutations to spread unchecked. On land, conditions are no better. No soil horizon, no plants to retain moisture, no shade, no edible biomass compatible with human digestion. Everything you touch, air, water, sediment, carries an evolutionary signature your body has never encountered. The Cambrian is not hostile by intent. It is simply built for something else. Death in the Cambrian rarely begins with a dramatic choice. It begins with decisions that feel reasonable to a modern brain. You need water. Survival instinct leads you to shallow coastal zones, light-filled, biologically active, seemingly safer than the deep. But these waters are the most dangerous. Cambrian seawater is not just salty. It is an unfiltered biological solution. Cyanobacteria release toxins. Archaea metabolize through unfamiliar chemical pathways. Even small ingestion disrupts electrolyte balance. Sodium rises, potassium falls. Neural transmission begins to misfire. You step into soft sediment. Without plant roots, the ground collapses under your weight. Every step requires excessive energy. Muscles already starved of oxygen accumulate lactic acid at abnormal rates. As sunlight strikes without a fully developed ozone layer, ultraviolet radiation penetrates directly. Human skin, evolved under oxygen-rich, ozone-protected skies, begins sustaining damage within hours. Inflammation, dehydration, and barrier breakdown follow. No roar, no attack. Just an environment quietly punishing familiar survival behaviors. At first, you are not prey. You are an anomaly. But the Cambrian rewards rapid responses to the unfamiliar. Movement in shallow water creates pressure waves. Even organisms without complex eyes detect them. Trilobites, small, armored, seemingly harmless, begin to gather. Not to hunt, but to investigate. rigid appendages scrape UV-damaged skin, creating micro-abrasions. In this environment, no wound is minor. Your immune system fails to recognize invading microbes. Blood coagulates poorly. Tissue necrosis begins microscopically before pain registers. Farther out, primitive predators move. Anomalocaris is not a shark or crocodile. It is a hydrodynamic machine, nearly a meter long, with powerful swimming lobes and grasping frontal appendages. Its vision is crude, but exquisitely sensitive to abnormal motion. And Choust, you do not need to be attacked, you only need to panic. A fall into sediment, a muscle cramp from electrolyte loss. Your head dips below the surface. Human lungs are not designed for ion-rich seawater. A few misfired breaths trigger aspiration. Alveoli collapse. In the Cambrian, the ocean does not need to hunt you. It only needs you to make one mistake within its awareness. Humans imagine apex predators as shapes, teeth, eyes, intent. The Cambrian does not work that way. The true apex predator here is not a creature. It is a system. Biomass density is extreme. Metabolic rates are high. Biological feedback loops operate faster than human physiology can adapt. Each liter of seawater contains millions of living units. When you inhale water, even briefly, your lungs become invasion surfaces. Microorganisms and metal ions coat alveoli, disrupting gas exchange. Oxygen diffusion fails. Carbon dioxide accumulates. Your body compensates by breathing faster. Each breath draws in more water, a closed biological loop. Anomalocaris may pass without contact, but its mass displaces water. Currents destabilize you. In shallow zones, face-down immersion for seconds can be fatal. Irreversible brain injury begins after 4 minutes of hypoxia. No killing bite. Just an ecosystem operating beyond your tolerances. In the Cambrian, the apex predator does not need to kill you. It only needs to keep existing correctly. Even without biological contact, the Cambrian delivers its final threat. Day-night cycles are harsh. Without vegetation, surface temperatures fluctuate rapidly. Daytime dehydration accelerates through UV-damaged skin. At night, temperatures drop. Energy-depleted bodies fail to thermoregulate. Enzymatic reactions slow. Immune responses weaken. Food is unusable. Cambrian organisms are mineralized, chitin-rich, or chemically toxic. Human digestive enzymes fail. Osmotic diarrhea strips water and electrolytes, accelerating collapse. Low oxygen does not kill quickly. It kills efficiently. Mitochondria in heart and brain cells fail to meet ATP demand. Energy production drops below survival thresholds. You weaken not from injury, but from energetic insufficiency. No climax. No final enemy. The Mother Nature does not attack you. She simply continues running the Cambrian. Collapse arrives quietly. Prolonged hypoxia forces neurons into anaerobic metabolism. Lactic acid accumulates. Intracellular pH destabilizes. Synaptic signaling fails. Vision blurs. Spatial orientation dissolves. Lungs fail first. Ion-rich water alters surface tension. Alveoli collapse. Acute respiratory failure occurs without infection. The heart compensates, rate increases, but potassium and magnesium loss disrupts membrane potentials. Arrhythmias follow. Cerebral perfusion drops further. Skin, your last defense, has already failed. UV damage fractures protein structures. Microorganisms breach microfissures. Immune recognition comes too late. Death is not an event. It is a convergence of small systemic failures. In the Cambrian, humans do not die because something kills them. They die because their biology is no longer viable. This scenario is not speculation. Oxygen and carbon isotope analyses show prolonged low oxygen, highly unstable atmospheres during the Cambrian. Human respiration cannot tolerate rapid partial pressure variability. Soft tissue fossils from Burgess Shale and Xinjiang reveal extreme biomass density in shallow seas. The ocean was not empty, it was saturated. Comparative morphology shows an unbridgeable gap between human lungs and Cambrian gas exchange systems. Many organisms relied on diffusion or simple tracheal networks. Human lungs cannot function in ion-dense fluids. Energy modeling indicates that at Cambrian oxygen levels, human mitochondrial ATP output falls below neural maintenance thresholds under stress, even without injury. Rocks do not tell stories, but their numbers do. And they confirm this. Cambrian life was not hostile to you. It simply did not include you. Instinct insists that survival was possible, if only you avoided predators. That belief is the final illusion. The problem was never where you stood, it was what you are. Human physiology is the product of 500 million years after the Cambrian. Lungs, skin, immunity, metabolism, all tuned for a stable world. Thrown backward, you are not displaced in time. You are displaced from biological context. No Cambrian organism intends to kill you. That is why you die. You are chemically incompatible, physiologically mismatched, evolutionarily too slow. In a world where instability is normal, human balance becomes fragility. The twist is not stronger monsters. It is that there are none. Only a planet functioning as designed. And you are the system error. Your death in the Cambrian is not dramatic. It is diagnostic. Intelligence does not ensure survival. Tools do not matter when physiology fails. Survivors are not the strongest, but the most compatible. Human dominance exists because of a rare evolutionary calm, high oxygen, regulated ecosystems, predictable pathogens. Earth owes us nothing. If modern conditions destabilize, ocean acidification, oxygen loss, food web collapse, this Cambrian failure becomes a future rehearsal. You do not need time travel to relive it. The same limits remain in our bodies. After your death, nothing changes. Your body decomposes quickly. Minerals precipitate. Microbes consume soft tissue. Bones dissolve before fossilization. No bite marks, no evidence. Geology does not record you. Millions of years later, humans evolve, unaware that misplaced in time, they would not last days. The Cambrian does not need to prove power, it only needs time. Time always favors Earth, never its guests. Your failure in the Cambrian is not about courage or preparation. It is a biological mismatch. Evolution does not move toward better, only toward fit. Humans are a late, fragile branch, surviving only because conditions allow it. Mother Nature does not create new monsters. She simply removes the conditions that protect you. In the Cambrian, you die without a trace. Today, the only difference is this: there will be witnesses, and the next survival report may already be writing itself.